Here's your video. So when you're given a fraction and you have to find the domain, the denominator can never equal 0. So what you're going to do is you're going to just look at the denominator. It doesn't matter what the numerator is. And you set it equal to 0. And then I'm going to factor. So I know x squared is x times x. I know 56 is 7 times 8. Excuse me. So that gives me 8x and 7x. And I want a negative 1x. So I want a negative 8 and a positive 7 to give me negative 1. So that would mean I need a negative 8 and a positive 7. And that would also give me my negative 56. And remember, we talked last week, we set each piece equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to get x equals negative 7 and x equals negative 8. Now, I don't know how they're going to have you type it in the program, but a lot of times you'll say x cannot equal negative 7 comma negative 8. Other times they'll have you put it in the bracket. They'll put x, I'm sorry, that's not what it is. X, where x is not equal to negative 7 or negative 8 in the fancy brackets. So I'm not sure how they'll have you type it in, but one way or another, that's what it'll look like. Okay, so again, if you're just looking for the domain, you just look at the denominator, say you don't want it to be 0. For this next one, they want you to reduce it. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the top and bottom and try and factor it out. So the first thing I notice on the top is I can factor a 4 out. So I'm left with 4v squared minus 5v plus 6. And then I'm going to factor the middle term out as well. So this would be v and v. This would be 3 and 2 to get 6 would give me 5, and both of them would have to be negative to give me a negative 5. So now I don't need to worry about this. And then I'm also going to factor out this denominator. So this would be v and v. To get 4 would be 2 and 2 negatives. So I'd have v minus 2 times v minus 2. And then you look top to bottom to see if anything cancels out. Well, this is a v minus 2 and this is a v minus 2, so therefore I can cancel it out. Nothing else reduces, so I'm left with 4 v minus 3 over v minus 2. Now that might be what they want. They might also want you to distribute the 4 back in and be like, oh, 4v minus 12 over v minus 2. I would say that's probably the most likely answer, but they might want you to go the other way too. Same thing with this one, but this is a complex fraction. We have a fraction over a fraction. We know when we do that, we're going to do copy dot flip-flop. So we're going to copy the first fraction, multiply by the flip-flop of the bottom fraction. And then I'm going to factor anything that I can. So v minus 4 is not factorable, v minus 2 is not factorable, v minus 2 is also not factorable, but I can factor this guy down here, which is v and v. I know 16 is 4 and 4. I want both of them to be negative to get a negative 8 and a positive 16. And again, I can cross things out. So I have a v minus 4 and a v minus 4 because we can cross diagonally, and this is gone. I also have a v minus 2 and a v minus 2 that I can cancel. That means there's nothing left on the top but a 1, and then a v minus 4 on the bottom. So again, whenever you see fractions like this, and it's just a bunch of quadratics, you just want to do copy dot flip-flop if necessary and factor everything, and a bunch of stuff should cancel out for you. If nothing canceled out, then you probably did some factoring wrong. Also, use these as hints. Be like, okay, I have v minus 4 and v minus 2. I'm probably going to use a 2 or a 4 to factor out that 16. Also down here, like we had v minus 3 and v minus 2. There's probably going to be some sort of 2 or 3 in the other one to factor out. So those are good hints for you to be like, oh, if I already have a 3 in this one, there's probably a 3 in the other one. I hope this video finds you well. Good luck. Bye.